Hello everyone. Hi, I'm back with another stream. So, I didn't stream yesterday, like I kind of figured I would, int. And yeah, yesterday was nice. So, fun, so, alright, so check it, right? It was Friday night, and I'm like, alright, I gotta get ready for this wedding tomorrow. I'm pretty unproductive, so I think I'm just gonna rest for the rest of the day, right? In one of the Discord servers I'm in, I have a Discord server dedicated to friends I made at Anime Expo. So, my first time at Anime Expo was in 2021. I went there with Kaicho, and we were just chilling over there. We shared a room at the Biltmore Millennium in Los Angeles, and I gotta say, the Biltmore Millennium, the room we stayed in, was jank. It was super like, we got a smart TV and so it's awesome, but the shower sucked. And the thing was, is I think we were like on the 30th floor, so the Biltmore Millennium like had an aesthetic of like, hey, this is like what the 80s and stuff like that. Like old, they even had bellhops. If anyone remembers what a bellhop is, yeah, no, they had bellhops. Like it was staying true to the traditional look of the Biltmore Millennium. But yeah, so when I got that hotel, right, I kind of booked it for one person, and then Kaicho joined, and then we just shared that one person king. But yeah, the shower sucked. Essentially, like, I would turn on like the faucet, the overhead faucet, it just like it barely like fired a good enough water in a good enough area to even clean myself. I had to adapt to the faucet, not faucet adapt to me, essentially. But yeah, so while at Anime Expo, of course, it's like LineCon times 3. If you guys don't know what LineCon is basically the term we convention goers love to use for massive lines to get anywhere. I first heard this term myself back in like 2019 for A-Con, because it was like, oh, welcome to LineCon, because like there'd be lines, long lines to get to your badge, long lines to get to wherever you wanted to go, because it's a convention and everyone's crazy about that stuff. I love conventions, I love the atmosphere, but yeah, so that was LineCon. A-Con and Anime Fest, like, oh, long lines, oh no, but like Anime Expo, bro, lines start up at like 3 a.m. in the freaking morning. It's like, whoa! Because Anime Expo is like one of the biggest conventions in the nation. And it's in Los Angeles, in one of the biggest convention centers ever, the Los Angeles Convention Center. So, while in LineCon times 3, me and Kaicho made friends. And because of that, we made a bond. And mind you, Anime Expo is like 4 days. And we managed to make good friends that we still stay in contact with. And like one of the friends we made a Discord server dedicated to Anime Expo, and I was like, oh snap. So luckily this year, let's see, yeah, that's right, this year we went and we had a 1-year reunion, so it was really nice. Had a reunion with the friends that we made last year at Anime Expo. It was our first Anime Expo ever. It was great. I just gotta learn to budget money better. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I need to budget money better. It's like, one of my favorite artists this year at Anime Expo, Artiltil. Like, oh my god, I love their art. I love it. They're one of the only artists that do Monster Musume art, because, I mean, like, it was, like, the hottest thing to watch in 2013, but it's kind of declined over the years, but, like, Monster Girls reign supreme. Anyway, so, dang. I just thought of the meme. So I saw a YouTube post on YouTube yesterday. It was yesterday. And it was, I think it was like Daily Dose of Shirin, and like the YouTube channel. And I think that's what it was. And it made a post about how basic storytelling was, and then Shiorin's version of storytelling, which is regular storytelling and start of the story to the end. Shiorin's is like start, and then like all these convoluted like steps, and then at the end it was end story and then apologize. And I thought that's just what I thought of, because I just went on like 10 different tangents just now. So alright, I'm trying to backtrack. So I did talk about Anime Expo. I had the fudge. How did I even get on Anime Expo? I don't even remember. LineCon, talked about my friend. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I got back on track. I went back from the abyss of tangents. So essentially, in that Discord server, we have like a little channel in there which is called recommendations. So we're like, hey, here's some anime you should watch. And in the recommendations, I believe, my friend posted that there is a showing of Exit of Tunnels, Summer of Goodbyes, Exit of Tunnels, or whatever. I think that's what it was called. And I saw that Friday night, and I was like, oh, snap. I thought it was like a 2023 film that just came out. No, this film came out in 2022. It is a movie, and I think it was an hour and 30 minutes long, because the reason why I say that is Friday I saw that, and I'm like, I have a wedding tomorrow on Saturday. It's Friday, and I was like, but I want to watch this film. Why not? So, I immediately after I saw that, I went on Fandango, and I bought a ticket to see the showing at a theater near me. Because it was already like, what, 10 p.m., 11 p.m. at night on Friday? And I was like, bro, I want to watch this, but the wedding's tomorrow. I have a solution. I'll watch this film at 12:45 p.m. The wedding's at 4 p.m. So yeah, I'm pretty smart. Totally smart. Yeah, of course, I'm totally smart. So I buy that showing, and I message like, oh, this is great. And then my friend's like, man, I live in another state, and I can't see it. That's no fair. I'm like, oh, well, sucks to suck. So I bought a ticket to watch the 12:45 showing on Saturday yesterday. And so it was nice. I already had planned Saturday morning. Like, if I had not watched the film, I was going to take care of the house, get everything ready for the wedding, and then head to the wedding venue. But instead I became irresponsible. I was irresponsible because I bought a ticket Friday night to watch a film Saturday morning. Now, the film was at 12:45, and of course you have like 15 minutes of trailers, and then you have the actual film. And I think the film was about an hour. Excuse me, I think it was like about an hour 30. Yeah, it's an hour 30 film, because I got out of the theater at 2:25. And then, okay, I kid you not, this is so funny. Like, I'm so glad that, in theaters now, there's anime films in there. I mean, like, there's more so than I've noticed before, because maybe it's just me, but I don't really... Growing up, I only saw, like, American movies like Marvel, or, like, other third-party movies, I guess, like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and stuff like that in theaters, but I never noticed that there were more anime films coming to theaters worldwide as much as they are now. Like, I remember I watched my first introduction to Love Live was watching the Love Live School Idol Festival movie. Like, the first series of Love Live. Like, the first series. And I remember seeing that. I think that was like 20... I want to say 2013. It was like 2015, 2016. And then after that, I got getting more into watching anime films in theaters, which hits different. It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling to go watch an anime film in theaters with friends. It's great. Like, I think... Yeah, I've watched all the My Hero Academia movies in theaters with my friends on premiere days. And it's great. It's a wonderful feeling. Like, I think there's like 3 movies total, right? There's 3 movies total, I think. No, there are only 2 movies total so far. Was there 2 movies, or were there 3? Was there 3? There was 3, right? 3 movies? I don't remember. I think it was just 2 movies. But, yeah, so... It was really nice to see that, like, there's a lot more anime films coming to theaters. Like, even in my area, there's a lot of, like, for example, like, Cinemark or AMC. Like, oh my gosh, there's a lot more anime films, and I like that. I really do. I like that. So, let's see. No! Dropped frames! No! Say it ain't so! I'm at, like, 2,500 bitrate output. How? It's in 2-minute increments, too! Fam. No! My Wi-Fi has been pretty janky today, but hopefully it won't be too bad. But anyway, yeah, so I watched that film, right? I get out. It is 2:25, and I'm like, oh, shoot. Let's see if I can... So, I drive to Target, which is next to the theater I went to, and I get a gift for the bride and groom. And before you say it, it's like, oh, you should have got the gift ready. I'm like, yeah, I was being irresponsible. I'm not even gonna lie, I was being irresponsible. Went to Target, got some gifts. I got a gift for both the bride and the groom, or for both of them in general. And Target had everything I needed, so I got a gift bag. I got a, like, tissue paper to, like, cover the gift, and I got the gift. All at Target. I was like, awesome! I leave, and it's like, it's like around like 3, and I'm like, No, it's like 2:54. That's right. And I was like, man, Savvy! Hey! Hi. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining the stream. I'm just talking about my experience. Like the experience I had 2 days ago. I went to a wedding. It was nice. It was very nice. Sorry about my irresponsibility to the wedding. So I'm at Target, right? Got my gift. And then I feel peckish, right? So I was like, you know what? Panda Express. When you leave? Oh, the wedding was yesterday. I left at like 3:40, which was pretty bad. The wedding was at 4. I left at 3:40. And like the wedding venue was like an hour from my house. So I was like, yeah, totally. The wedding was great, by the way. The wedding, which I was invited to, it's a great honor. So the wedding was for these 2 friends I made, like, 4 years ago. And to put in perspective why I say it's an honor, is because these 2 people, I barely talked to. I have only seen them in person twice in my life. Like, I've only seen them twice. So, the way I got invited to this wedding, which I think I talked about it earlier in my other streams, but the way I got invited was earlier this year. My friend had a birthday party, and I saw these 2 people that were going to be married at the birthday party, and we were having a grand old time. We were axe throwing, and apparently I suck at axe throwing except when I don't. So, like, literally, so, okay, I basically did the generic method of just throwing an axe like that, like and like it would always miss the mark. It would bounce off the target, and finally I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm not gonna get it right. So basically, I took the axe, I turned around so I'm facing backwards, and I was squatting. So I was squatting, holding the axe like this. I stood up, turned around, and I was like, let's do it. So it was the weirdest technique ever, but it worked. I threw it, flawless, hit the bullseye, and I was like, what? If I do it properly, I suck. But if I do it improperly, it works. And I'm like, okay. So, birthday party, axe throwing. And then at the end of the birthday party, the 2 people that were going to be wed, which they are married now, literally said, you should come to our wedding. And I'm like, sure. So I was like, okay, I'll join. All right, sure, whatever. All right. Why not? You're a friend of my friend, so I guess I'll go. And at first I was like, oh, maybe they'll forget. And then I got an invitation. Like, they mailed me an invitation. It was a beautiful invitation, by the way. It was a letter, and it had a hot stamp. Like, they actually waxed it sealed, like wax sealed, with a stamp. And it was so cool. And like the theme was like, not one without the other. And if you guys know about there's a YouTube video online, and it's like the sheep and the wolf. And it's like kind of just like a really nice little, like, there is not one without the other story with the sheep and the wolf. And that was the thing. It was cool. On the invitation, it literally was, wear a costume or don't come at all. So it was a very interesting wedding. It was a non-conventional wedding. Now, me, grown up, I'm a Catholic Pinoy, you know. I've been to weddings where you have to wear a suit, tie, tuxedo, you know, got dressed up and everything. This wedding was completely 180. It was literally, dude, it's super chill. Come over here and just wear a costume. So why not? I literally wore tennis shoes, my cargo shorts, a t-shirt, and I had my convention cosplay. And what's my convention cosplay, you ask? It is literally a sign that says background character for 2069. And that was my cosplay, and they let me in. I was like, I just did the bare minimum for maximum value, because I got a lot of compliments on my costume yesterday. They're like, bro, you should put on the back of your sign main character in disguise. I'm like, oh, that's a good one. I originally wanted to put like manga readers could never, because there's the whole thing in the anime community where manga readers already know what happens in the anime because the manga is far ahead in the anime. It's like, so yeah, so it was really cool, but I digress. I'll get into the wedding more, but yeah, so I got the gift, and it's like 2:45. I'm at a Target parking lot, and I'm like, I'm feeling kind of peckish. Mind you, I already had breakfast and lunch before I went to see the movie. And then I was like, you know what? I feel peckish. Maybe I'll just, get like the new Panda Express's chili shrimp bowl. And Panda Express has this deal that's ongoing right now that you yourself can get for yourself. It is a buy one get one free bowl. So if you get a bowl of shrimp or chili shrimp from Panda Express, their new menu item, you get a bowl of chili shrimp. You can get another bowl for free. I kid you not, I used that yesterday. Was it a mistake? Probably. But man, I filled myself up before that wedding. I didn't know what to expect at the wedding, to be honest. But yeah, I got a bowl of chili shrimp with fried rice, and then I got another bowl with the original orange chicken with fried rice. So yeah, I got that, and basically I used the app. I used the Panda Express app at the Target parking lot I was at, and I was like, alright, I'll get this and this, and then the code to get the buy one get one free bowl if you get a bowl of chili shrimp is Crispy BOGO. So it's like capital C for crispy and capital BOGO. So Crispy BOGO, it's like you type it in the coupon thing on checkout on the Panda Express app, and you get one bowl free. So I took that deal. I didn't finish both of the bowls. I left the fried rice in my orange chicken bowl alone because I was like, I'm getting too full. So yeah, I did that. I had the gift. I left the gift in the car. I ate my food. I got my cosplay, and then I head out. It's like 3:40. The wedding's at 4. That was yesterday, and so that was the thing. And so I drive out there, and I'm like, man, I think I'm late. I am late. I was late. So I pull up at the venue. It's like I said, it's about an hour away from my home. And I pull up in this little very naturey area. It's kind of a little bit removed, just like on the outskirts of suburban areas. And I just pull up, and there's like 2 guys on the road in costume, and I'm like, are these the guys? Is this the wedding venue? And so one of the guys sees me slow down and then does this. Like he's pointing to the driveway of the house. And I'm like, what? I don't understand what this guy is doing. So I slowly inch forward, and the guy walks to my car. I pull down the window, and he says, you here for the party? And I'm like, this is for so-and-so's wedding, right? And the guy's like, oh, yeah. Come on in. Let me show you. So basically, the guy walks me through the driveway. And this driveway is long. Like, you go in, there's a bunch of nature, and then there's the house. And a lot of cars have already parked on the sides of the road, like the road leading up to the house. So, like, there's the driveway, and then on the sides, which is literally just dirt and grass. That's where a lot of cars were parked. This guy, it's clear that he's probably, I don't know, maybe he was a couple beers in. But he had a beer in his hand, and he was telling me, like, oh, you can park over here. And it is like the most narrowest parking spot I've ever seen. There was a tree, and then there was a car. And I was like, there's like barely any space for me to get in here. Mind you, I'm not even using my car. I'm using my mom's car. And the reason why I'm not using my car is there's a sensor issue as far as I know on my car. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to drive my car. I'm going to drive my mom's car while both my parents are out of the country right now. Like they're in Portugal and Greece. Yeah, Portugal and Greece. So, brain fart. So, I managed to slide in there with like amateurish like driving skills, parking skills. And the guy's like walks around. He's like, "Hey, do you think you can get out?" I look and like he can walk through it, but I'm like, "Bro, I don't think I can barely squeeze out." He's like, "Okay, never mind. You got to back out." So I spent like 5 minutes getting this parking space, and I'm being told to back out and go somewhere else. I'm like, at this point, this guy that's like directing me to a parking spot, I'm just like, this sucks. Like, you do not know how to tell me, you do not know how to direct me. And so, he directs me to a parking spot, and he's like, oh, just, I'm just messing around with you. Like, he's like being all jovial and stuff. And he says, I recommend that you back up your car versus driving in, so it's easy for you to get out. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do that. And then he introduces himself, and he's the dad of the groom. And I'm like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. Okay. So I managed to back myself into the parking space that they had requested me park at, so for easier access to get out. Which, by the way, it wasn't. I'll tell you why later. So I get out of my car, I get my cosplay, and I walk in, and whoa, it is a wonderful house. The house is beautiful, the backyard's great. Apparently, not only is it like a big front yard where there's like a bunch of trees, a long driveway and stuff. No, this house is small, but behind it is like 10 acres of like free roam space. Like there's a lot of trees and stuff, but so I learned that the guy I was talking to, that was the groom's dad. The groom's dad owns the house. The groom's dad and mom, like the groom's parents live at that house. They own the house and the property around it. So there's like 10 acres, and I was like, oh, this is big. So he has a lot of space in his backyard. So I looked and I was like, wow, there's a pool, there's a gazebo, there was like party tables set up. It was really nice. And the food, oh my gosh, the food, not gonna lie, I didn't eat that much. I just nibbled a bit with some of the food. And it was good. It was creative. So the theme was Halloween. Mind you, yesterday was, November 4th. It was November 4th. Like, it's already like, 4 days past Halloween. But the theme was Halloween party. They had like a dish that was literally like in the shape of a hand. So it was like an arm dish made of like ham and a bunch of other meats, and I was like, oh, that's cool, but it looks like a human hand. So that was the goal. They had a scorpion that had like bacon wrapped steak as the tail. I was like, oh, that's so cool. They even had a cockroach cake. It looked disturbing, but apparently it looked really good. Like the person who made that cockroach cake put in put in all the effort to make it look pretty freaking good. So I get there, and I see the bride. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? I don't know if you remember me because we haven't talked in a hot minute. And then she's like, oh, I remember you. And so she's like, Kami-sama. So the reason why she calls me Kami-sama is because my name is Godfred. And the thing that they remembered was God, which is in my name. Like Kami-sama, which means God in Japanese. I'm like, oh, thank you. It is their wedding day, but I just want to make a note that I do not like being called God. I do not like that as my nickname. So if you guys meet me in real life and think you can use God as the nickname, please do not. I don't like being called God. It is due to like my personal and religious beliefs, because I'm not God. I'm just, I'm one of the boys, essentially. I'm not God. So I don't like being called God. But because it is the bride and groom's wedding, I didn't say anything. I just wanted them to have a fun time. So I'm like very uncomfortably just like, yay, oh, thank you for inviting me, while they're saying Kami-sama. And I'm like, it's their wedding, don't say anything. And I'm like, I don't want to be called God. I just don't like being called God. Like, no. Put it in perspective. In university, I ended up with having like a group of friends, and my other friends called me in the group, like called my group the God Squad, and I hated being called the God Squad because I don't want to be called God. So I was like, just change it to Odd Squad. I don't want to be called God. I just don't like that for personal religious reasons. And I'm like, so yeah, it was really nice to see them. And then I saw the food inside, so I went inside the house. I saw the food. And like I said, like very creative styles. There were chicken and waffles too. It was amazing. And then the thing is no one said anything, and I thought people had already taken a little nibble. So at the food, so I got a small plate. I got a plastic fork, and I got like 2 things. I got some macaroni bites, which is really good, and I got a little bit of a sponge cake, and I had that right. And then after I finished my plate, I was like, okay. I came in to just hang out, and the groom was there, and the groom was like, Godfred, you were supposed to wait. I was like, oh no, it's because like no one told me anything. The food's right in front of me. How was I not supposed to know? I came like 21 minutes late. I'm sorry. Like, no one told me. I didn't see it in the invitation. No one told me. So I essentially what I did to atone for that is I let everyone else have the food first before I went in. To be fair, I did have the 2 Panda Express bowls before going to the wedding, so I just wanted to fill up because I didn't know what to expect at the wedding. Because the last wedding I went to for 2 of my other friends that got married, there was only cake. There was no food, and I was like, oh, so I kind of prepared myself in the case that there was no food. So, but anyway, it was a backyard wedding, and it was really beautiful. Everyone had amazing cosplays, costumes. Someone cosplayed as like, what is it, Freddie Flintstone? Is that what the guy's name is from the Flintstones? Freddie Flintstone? I was like, oh my god, that's a blast from the past. There was Mario and Luigi. There was a gaming area. There was like 2 laptops where you can play Tekken or some other games. There was Smash, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so that was awesome. So around like 4:30, I think, around 4:35, that's when the actual wedding happened. And it was really sweet. It was not a conventional wedding. The venue was in the middle of everything. It was next to their pool. So we have the patio. So we have the patio here, we have the pool over here, and then we have the wedding venue right there. So it was like in between both. And it was really beautiful how it happened. So the groom was escorted out first in costume. And then next was the flower girls. And the bride's daughter was one of the flower girls, and she was cosplaying Hatsune Miku, so it was even more adorable. After the flower girls, it was the bride. And then it was really short. So what happened was the person that was overseeing the wedding, like overseeing the marriage vows, he was a barbarian. It was so cool. But apparently he had the rights to say, hey, these 2 are going to get wedded. So I was like, okay, cool. So it was really cute. Instead of doing traditional vows, they made their own vows, which I thought was wholesome. So the groom said his vows, and I don't remember. I was like in the far back, so I barely heard anything. But they whipped out pieces of paper that they had written their vows on, and so the groom said the vow. The bride did the same thing. They had their own vows, and it was really cute. And then finally, they put the ring on their fingers, and then they kissed, and it was so beautiful. It was so wholesome. Afterwards, of course, everyone went away, and then the whole ceremony lasted like 10-15 minutes, but it was really sweet. And then afterwards, it was just, everyone was just having fun. People were talking, eating food, and I just basically hung out, caught up with friends too, had some pictures. Two of my friends came there, and they were cosplaying Yor from Spy Family and Ochako Uraraka from My Hero Academia. So it was really cool. Got to see a lot of friends. And then afterwards, I decided to leave around like 9 p.m. I was like, yeah, okay. Because I didn't know a lot of people there, and also I need to take care of the house and just get some rest for today. So, yeah, overall, it was a really nice wedding. So, yeah, that's what I did yesterday, and then Friday. So, yeah, I had a really nice wedding. So, yeah, pretty good. So, anyway, so today we're going to learn some more Japanese. The Japanese trip is literally right around the corner, as in the title of my stream. Because, like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. So, yeah, I got like 3 weeks, and then I hop on a plane to Toronto, Canada, then to the Narita airport in Japan. I'm excited and scared. I feel like all the Japanese that I've been learning for the past couple of months on stream, like learning all of this stuff, like I feel like even if I learn this stuff, I'm not going to be able to like communicate with the locals, and that's what terrifies me. And I'm like, man, ooh, because like I go to the Philippines, right? My parents speak fluent Tagalog. I don't. So I felt some reassurance there. Like, and even then, I know some Tagalog to get me by, question mark. So this is Japan, all right? This is Japan. This is a language that I don't often speak. You know, I mean, I say some like yare yare daze or kawaii or something like simple phrases, but at the end of the day, right? I don't speak Japanese. My household is Tagalog and English. Like, I don't speak Japanese, and that's what terrifies me. Butts for poop. But. Hopefully things will work out. I know that I have friends in Japan, so maybe things will work out. I'm just worried. Like, first international trip, I'm planning with a group of people, And if you've seen the planning, it's all over the place, but we're making it work. And I'm just like, I'm kind of like nervous. I'm like, oh man, will it work out? I hope it works out. So, yeah. So anyway, with that being said, we'll get right into learning some Nihongo. Let's see. Yeah, I want to go to day 4. I want to go to day 4. Grammar. Nah, I'm going to go to day 4. Oh! Wow. So we have... Oh. Uh-oh. So we have 3 things here. So we have lesson 1 listening. We have an audio companion for destinations. And then we have stories. Interesting. Ugh, excuse me. Interesting. Alright. Interesting. Alright. We'll start. Wait, hold up. Am I getting a call? Nah, I'm not. I'm doing listening. Let me know if the music's too loud. Or this gets too loud. I might need to tone it down a bit. Because I know I had to tone it down to like